Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today let's go over a Leetcode medium question that I just solved on my own. So I'm super happy about this and I'm very glad that I was able to come up with my own solution to this question without any help. So let's go over it and let me show you how I did it. So this is question 3882, minimum XOR path in a grid. So basically you're starting at the top left cell of the grid and trying to reach the bottom right. Trying to find the minimum path out of all the possible paths going down or right, reaching the bottom right cell where you take the XOR of all the values in the path. So for example, if we have 1, 2, and then we have 3 and 4, you can take this path, and there are only 2 valid paths there. And if the grid gets bigger, then there are more paths. So let's go ahead and just first come up with a brute force approach. Let's try all the paths and find the minimum, right? So let's start at 0 and 0, which is the top left, with a value of 0, because we're going to XOR the value when we get to it. And first we're going to ask if this is, if it's not in bounds of this coordinate, if it's out of the grid, either too far high, down, left, right, then we can just return from it. And let's define an in bounds. Basically, if x is return, x is bigger than or equal to 0, and x is less than, let's get the number of rows and the number of columns in the grid. So all of these have to pass to return a Boolean of true. Cool. So if it's out of bounds, then we just return from the function. Otherwise, let's go ahead and make the value XOR the current grid value. So when we jump on the grid first, it's going to be 1 here or 6 here. So then we can try down or right, right? 2 moves that we can try. So f of x plus 1 is down, and value f of x y plus 1 value is right. And then at any point, if x is at the bottom right corner, then let's print the value and take the minimum of those values. Okay, so you can see this is pretty slow. So let's go ahead and try to get this to time out. Okay, time limit exceeded. That's fine. Just want to validate our work. So 6 and 7, perfect. So 9 in this case. So then we would just take the minimum of those answers. If we're at the bottom right corner. And then at the end, we can just return our self.answer, right? So let's try this again and submit it. So this is just a brute force recursive approach. So let's watch it time out. So let me also show you how I optimized it. It's pretty straightforward. So we're almost there. There's a cool annotation called @cache that basically will make sure we don't compute the same thing twice, and that will speed up the time complexity using dynamic programming. Okay, memory limit exceeded. Once you finish the cache, we also just have to clear the cache so the memory doesn't balloon. And let's try it again. And there you go, passes all test cases. So again, I'm super happy that I was able to come up with my own solution to this problem without any help and solve it completely on my own. So that's it for question 3882.